Hey yo, check it out, fam. Samsung think that they could just make these cameras, right? These amazing cameras, film, that like 3 billion of us actually bought. And we love them cameras, you know what I'm saying? And then they forced to leave, you know what I'm saying? Get out the business. Ain't that some shit? Hell no, you know what I'm saying? These other camera companies think that they could just claim to hold all that market share. Claim that it's all to themselves, you know what I'm saying? Like they own you. They own your dinero, you know what I'm saying? That's fake news, man. Sony own you? With Canon? I didn't think so. Sales were rigged, my guy. They bullshitting film. Samsung clearly sold more than all them fools, you know what I'm saying? And now we gotta let them Sony lizard monsters tell us that they can't. That Samsung had to go away. Come on, y'all. We gotta force these fools to merge with Nikon. Get back in the game. Samsung, you feel me? Samsung gonna rule the camera game, cuz I ain't gonna let it happen no more. Not on my watch, nephew. We gonna march up to Sony. Act a fool on them mark-ass tricks. We gonna wild on them until they bring us that NX2. We know they got it, man. They keeping it from us. I seen it, man. I seen it on the internet. We gonna demand that shit. Give us the NX2, goddamn. We demand the NX2. Sony is stealing that Samsung tech. Man, we gotta stop the steal, y'all. Come on, y'all. Y'all feel me? Stop the steal. 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 Stop the steal.
I got it on lock like Sony autofocus. Stable like a rock, I'll beside it. You better realize it's sharper than the Samsung NX1. Grab the Nikon Z6, snap some pics, 4K video incognito. Cause baby I like it raw. I know you saw me with the Canon planning dual pixel on some tricks that I be trying to hit. Get it? Ha ha, fooled you baby, never lose me. I love the color sign.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's happening, man? It's your boy OG Camera Boy again, you know what I'm saying? And I'm here today because I want to talk to you again about Samsung. Yes, I said Samsung. I know it's getting played out now. Probably everybody watching these videos, if they do watch these videos, going to say to themselves, what's this boy always talking about Samsung camera system that ain't even been around for years now? You know what I'm saying? Well, there's a good reason for why I talk about that, man. If y'all seen my first video, I talk about value, man. Samsung just represents so much value. And I got in front of you here my collection that I just put together over the years, you know what I'm saying? I want to talk to you a little bit about each and every one of them. Yo, first off, real quick, I just want to apologize right quick, man. My energy levels is probably pretty low, man. I hope that doesn't come across through in the camera because I'm excited about these Samsung cameras for real, and I want to talk about them. And it's actually something I'm doing today on purpose because I need to pick me up, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been up since like 4 a.m. I don't know what happened, man. My eyes just popped right open. I was laying there for like an hour trying to fall back to sleep, but yo, it wasn't happening, man. It just wasn't happening. And my cat, man, he's got like a sixth sense or something, you know what I'm saying? He knows when I'm up, man. And morning, that's his favorite time, you know what I'm saying? Because he gets that soft food in the morning, man. He gets that fish pate, you know what I'm saying? Check this dude out, man. He always get them big eyes every time I put that plate down. He love that fish pate. So that's his favorite time in the morning. So if he catches a whiff of the fact that I'm up, hey, man, he has a hard time letting me fall back and sleep. Start walking all over me and all that, purring my ear and everything, you know what I'm saying? But that's all right, I love it. Anyways, let's get to talking about these here Samsung cameras. Sometimes I find deals on these cameras that are just too good to be true, you know what I'm saying? I just gotta grab them, and that's all there is to it. Now I got everything from this flagship of my Samsung collection. This is gonna be my NX500, of which I have 2, as you can see. I have the Samsung NX Mini, I got Samsung NX300, I got the Samsung NX30, and I got a variety of lenses here. This is another Samsung NX300. I got a couple of the Samsung flashes. I can't remember which one this is. This is the 42A, this is the 220, SEF 220A. And these flashes are fantastic, man. I used them plenty of times, man, when there's low light, not the greatest ambient conditions, you know what I'm saying? The problem with some of these flashes, I'll be honest with you, on these Samsung cameras from my experience, is that the flash sinks only go up to 1/200th of a second. So that's sometimes, like, if you're trying to use that during the day, whatever, just to get better exposure, whether you're in the shadow or something like that, you might struggle with it a bit, you know what I mean? That's when you gotta start incorporating filters and all that, but no matter. During the nighttime, these things are dope, man. And when you're talking about like sunset or golden hour when the sun's just coming up, you know what I'm saying? From dusk to dawn, you know what I'm saying? This stuff works real well, no doubt. And these flashes are fantastic. The best thing about these flashes, this flashes, I think, brand new retail costs like, I don't even know, a couple $100, man. It was like $200-300. I picked that up for like $34 or something like that, used, man. But that's the thing about it, man. This equipment's getting old now. Sometimes people finding themselves with it, you know what I mean? And they just want to get rid of it, man. So they put that stuff on eBay, and I'm all too eager to grab it off their hands, you know what I'm saying? Just add it to my collection. This one I paid a little bit more for because I bought it brand new. I think I paid like $100 for it or something like that, but it's well worth it. The reason I bought it is because I wanted to take it along with me when traveling. I mean, look how beautiful this is, man. This is just so compact, you know what I'm saying? It's just so small. It's like even smaller than a pack of cigarettes. You can put it in your pocket, whatever. In your camera bag, takes no space whatsoever, you know what I mean? And it's got great capacities, man. It's just a really good solid flash, man. It works beautifully, and if you're into photography, then dang, man, you know that's a must for real. So the first camera I ever bought from Samsung, and I have to admit, man, I just got turned on to Samsung a couple of years ago, man. I didn't even know they made cameras, to be honest with you, man. Probably like a lot of you, man. Probably looking at these things saying, what? Samsung, cameras, Samsung? Yeah, man, I didn't know about that either, man. You just, you know about the usual suspects, the Nikons and the Canons and the Sonys. I had no idea Samsung made cameras, but they did, you know what I'm saying? Tell you the truth, it all started because my girl, man, she was like, oh, I need this vlogging camera. I need to get one of these cameras that got that flip-up screen and everything. I was like, girl, we talking about that camera flip-up screen. She was talking about that, I think it was the RX100. I'm not sure. So that Sony one that was popular at the time, a couple of years back. A lot of people still have it. I think it was the predecessor to the ZV-1, which is the new hot one that I guess Sony's trying to push. That's like a vlogging camera, but it's only like, I think it's like a 24mm lens on a 1-inch sensor, so it's you know, not appropriate, let's put it that way. Well, the Samsung NX Mini, I did a little bit of research and I found out, yo, man, Samsung make this crazy camera, man. It's got a 1-inch sensor too. And it's the NX Mini right here, man. This camera's dope, man. It's got a 20.5 megapixel backside illuminated sensor. It's got the flip-up screen, and it's so small, man. Like, look how thin that is, you know what I'm saying? You know, Marcus Pix, he did a video recently, and I sort of piggybacked on it, talking about the NX500, but he also bought himself one of these too, you know what I'm saying, to go along with his NX500. And y'all, I'm telling you, man, this camera's dope, man, for vlogging and everything like that. Let me get it straight out the way about all these cameras. And this is something that all these cameras share in common. And you might have determined that if you watched my old video about the Samsung NX500. They don't have the greatest stabilization. In fact, in many cases, they don't have stabilization at all. So, you know, you gotta learn that ninja walk, or you gotta be real careful when you hold them. Some of the lenses have optical image stabilization on some of the lenses, and it works aight. You know, it's not the greatest, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing like the newer lenses. The newer lenses really come a long way when it comes to that, especially when you match them up with Obvious or whatever. They can really do a pretty good job. And you know, some of the other cameras too, they introduce electronic image stabilization, which, you know, I always think optical is better, but it's better than having nothing in some cases. So these cameras, they can get a little bit shaky from time to time, but you know, you can get around that some cases if you just pick yourself up like a cheap gimbal, if that's something you're willing to do, whatever. I know a lot of people be like, oh, I don't want to have to set up the gimbal every time, and I understand that, that's true. But at the same time, looking past these cameras, man, you're foregoing some crazy stuff here, because these cameras have ridiculous image quality, man. Like I said, the only downfall to this one really is that stabilization. You know, you're gonna have a bit of a shaky video on it, whatever, but the video quality is excellent, man. It's a 1-inch sensor on this one here, and it works really, really well as far as portability is concerned. I mean, it's so thin, man. It's like a deck of cards, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And I went out and I bought this lens, and they only have 3 lenses that come with this entire camera system, the Mini, but there is an adapter. I never bought the adapter, but there is an adapter. I don't even know, it's hard to find nowadays, but there's an adapter where it can go with the larger regular NX lenses, so you can adapt those NX lenses to this NX Mini. And I figure if you could put an adapter on an adapter, you could probably adapt other lenses there too. But anyways, I didn't get that, but I just have, in my opinion, the best lens that they make for this camera, and that's the 17mm f1.8, and that's the one that I have on it right here. Oh man, it's just such a beautiful, the optics of this lens is crazy. I can't even tell you, man. It just looks so good. It almost like deceives you that it's a 1-inch sensor. You look at that and you say to yourself, that's at least an APS-C, you know what I'm saying, with the depth of field you're getting and all the rest of the image quality. It's just so beautiful, man. As long as the light is good, you know what I'm saying, it's all good. But I mean, this is gonna be 10 times better than something like an action camera, for real. I mean, it's not even any kind of competition, for real. I mean, the sensor is just so much bigger, and it's just an excellent performing camera. And I'm gonna tell you something else, man. It takes amazing pictures. It really does, especially with this lens, man. That 17 1.8, I'm like, whoa, man. Some of the pictures I took with that just look beautiful, man. I really appreciate having this camera. I mean, this camera is just perfect for traveling, man. I mean, if you want to go light and get yourself something with some great image quality, you know, take some nice pictures and whatever, and even on occasion take some video, or even take video primarily, man, this is an excellent choice for that, no doubt about it. You can get these pretty inexpensively these days. You know, if you're like Marcus Picks and you want to pay brand new, you're going to be paying through the teeth for sure, man. But, you know, if you can pick these up on a used market, like I picked this one up used, man, and the guy I picked it up from, you could tell by the listing whether they take good care of it or not. I mean, it came with, let's see if I can find that right here. It came with one of these here covers, and you know, when someone goes to the extent of buying a cover for something like that, and they keep it on there all the time, you know they take decent care of the camera, man. And this camera, when it came to me, it was practically brand new, for real, man. And it doesn't have a scratch on it, you know what I'm saying? I always put the lens protectors on it. I always put, you know, the UV filters. I always put the screen protectors on it. So my cameras, man, I keep them immaculate. And the guy I bought it from, I think, did too. And I bought this whole set. I can't remember what came with it, just a couple accessories, the usual stuff. It came with obviously the 9-27 lens, which is this one right here. And I think I paid like $180 for it, and that was like 3 years ago. And that was like the first introduction to Samsung photography that I ever had. And I was so impressed with this camera when I first bought it. Like, I couldn't believe that I didn't know anything about Samsung and their cameras for the longest time, that I was like, yo, I gotta look into some of them other cameras that Samsung make. They must do something right, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm finding out, yo, they don't just make 1-inch sensors, they do that APS-C thing too, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I gotta get myself into some of them APS-C cameras, you know what I'm saying? I'm not usually one to buy like the cheaper versions of cameras, you know what I'm saying? I like to go straight to the top, and I guess the top of the top would be the NX1, and that's the one, obviously, if you look around, that I don't have here. But I'm gonna get it one day. I'll find myself with one of them. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but it will. I keep finding them every so often, people putting them up on eBay and everything like that. And I'm trying to get myself into an auction for one. Sometimes if the price is too good to refuse, maybe I'll jump on it or whatever, but that hasn't been the case just yet. So in any case, I'm looking for the steal of the century, and I'll tell you why, man. It's almost like a game for me, because I try and pick up these cameras on the cheap, and I'll tell you right now, man, like for example, this here, this NX300, for real, I paid less than $100 for this, and that came with the kit lens. Now, I'll be honest with you, I bought that one as an as-is situation. It was for parts, man. It wasn't turning on, but I had two others already, so I'm figuring, like, you know, I'll tinker around with these things now and then, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I can figure out what's wrong with it. And what I did is I ended up opening it up and just switching up motherboards with one of the ones that I had that I knew was working, and guess what? Boom, fired right up. So I went on AliExpress, bought myself a motherboard for like $40. I bought the camera off of eBay with the lens for like $42 or something like that. So for less than $85, $82 total, man, I had a Samsung NX300. Camera was in good condition, man. That's the reason I got it, is because I was looking at the listing and I was checking out the pictures of the camera, and the camera looked like it wasn't beaten up or anything, man. It wasn't scuffed up, nothing like that. Everything was looking good on it. So I'm like, all right then, let me see, man. I'll take a chance on it, see what happens. Turns out it was a decent chance to take, man, because it's just replaced the motherboard. And I think the problem with it must have been some sort of electrical surge or something, because I could see on the motherboard there was a little bit of blackening happening around where you would plug in the power cord to recharge it, whatever. So I don't know, it must have been something that fried the motherboard, you know what I'm saying, because it wouldn't turn on or whatever. But replaced the motherboard, and guess what? Bam. Works like a charm, you know what I'm saying? So the decision to get the NX300 happened because after getting my girl the NX Mini, seeing how well it performed, you know what I'm saying, I got a chance to tinker around with it, play with it now and then, that kind of thing, you know what I'm saying. The photos that came out of it, the video that came out of it, I was like, whoa, man, this Samsung stuff is for real, man. I gotta get myself one of these Samsungs too. So I was figuring, man, I'm gonna bump it up a bit, get myself that APS-C size sensor, and get the NX300, you know what I mean? For me, it wasn't important to have a flip screen, even though I have to admit flip screen's a nice thing to have and everything like that. But it wasn't important for me because, you know, for me, it's just gonna be for photography. I like taking pictures more than video. Video is just like a recent thing that I'm getting into. But I decided to pick up the NX300, man. And this NX300, let me tell you something, I'm filming with one right now. There's the NX300 right now. So it's not like it doesn't do video. It does video just fine, man. The autofocus on the video side of things is not gonna be the greatest, you know what I'm saying? If you're talking about like good lighting conditions, you know, if it's really bright and you're shooting yourself outside, you on vacation in some tropical location or wherever you happen to be, tropical or not, as long as the sun is shining, the autofocus actually works pretty well, man. You know what I'm saying? It won't hunt as badly. It won't hunt very much at all. I've found in many cases, actually, I've taken some sort of sample videos on the autofocus situation where, you know, it just catches me and holds on, you know what I mean? I put it on face priority, it finds me and it doesn't let go. So in some cases it's very usable, but I'm not gonna gas you up about it because check this out, man. If the light goes down, if you start to crank up the ISOs, it's not that good anymore. Then it starts to hunt, it loses you, it turns into a Panasonic, if you catch my drift, you know what I'm saying? So, but anyways, check this out. Picked myself up the NX300 and this thing takes amazing pictures, man. I love this as a travel camera because it's so small, it's so compact, it's so lightweight. You know, you could just put it in your bag and you're good to go, you know what I'm saying? And I can pair it with a whole variety of the lenses I have. I mean, look at these lenses, man. Look at this here pancake lens. This is a 30mm f2. You know, you pair it with this is nothing, man. You can carry this around all day long, man. Doesn't weigh hardly a thing. I think Marcus Pix did a video on that particular lens alone or whatever, was talking about it in one of his videos, as that's his favorite pancake lens of all time. And I would have to concur. I don't know if it's my favorite of all time, but it's definitely fantastic, man. It takes incredible pictures. I paid like $200 for it, man. I was happy to do it, believe me. And I take that camera with me everywhere, man. Every time I go on vacation, I have so many vacation photos, man. And check this out, man. I'm gonna put some up on the screen right now so y'all can see that. All these photos were taken with this Samsung, man. Every single one of them. Image quality is really, really, really nice out of this. Yo, if you're a photographer, man, you want to buy yourself like a secondary camera, just something that you can take around that you may not even give a damn about, man. Something bad happened to it. Unfortunately, you don't want something bad to happen to it, but it could happen. You never know what the situation brings. Well, this is one of those cameras, man, you could pick up real cheap, carry it with you, and guess what, man? You have something in your pocket that's gonna take amazing pictures, man, amazing quality pictures. And for me, that was important. So I love this camera, this NX300. Going upscale a little bit from the NX300, I got this one here. This is the NX30. And for real, I ain't even joking, man. I ain't even kidding you, man, for real. Someone paid me to take this by the end of it. That's what happened, for real. This camera came free plus $100. I'm not even joking. The reason this camera even popped up on my radar, I wasn't even looking for it, to be honest with you. This is what I was looking for. I wanted this lens. This is the Rokinon 12mm f2.0. It's a manual focus lens. That's okay. And it popped up on my radar because I had a saved search for this lens. They're rare. You don't find them that often, you know what I'm saying? But the reason it popped up is because this lens came with this camera. The guy was selling the camera and all the lenses that he had with it, which included this lens, it included the kit lens, it included a 20mm f2.8, which if I'm honest, I didn't really care for, so I sold it. It came with a Rokinon 500mm. It's kind of like more of a novelty lens. It's like a mini telescope. It's like a mini Newtonian telescope. It was like a 500mm f8. It wasn't sharp or anything like that. I didn't have any need for it, you know what I'm saying? So I sold that too. And it came with, geez, I can't even remember. It might have been another lens or two or something like that. But anyways, the bottom line is I ended up keeping just the camera and just the Rokinon lens, selling everything else. And by the end of it, I made $100, man. So I got this and this for free, which is crazy because this lens right here goes for like, oh, I'd say at least $300 if you can find it by itself, man. So I got the 12mm and I got this crazy NX30 for free. I didn't really even have any intentions on buying a camera bundle that had to do with anything about the NX30, but it's just like I said, just because of this lens, I couldn't believe that the whole auction, I think it came with this camera and like 5 lenses, was like I think I paid $224, $226, something like that, man. It was crazy. I couldn't let that go. I bought that right away, man. And then I just started selling off the other lenses, and within no time, man, free. I couldn't believe it, man. But this is the crazy thing about it, man. Sometimes you find these auctions, they just kind of slide under the radar, man. Nobody's paying attention to them. Nobody's looking for this. And this camera's ridiculous, man. This is like the flagship version of this one. Kind of like the NX1 is to the NX500, you know what I'm saying? It's got that nice flippy screen, as you can see right here, you know what I'm saying? It's got the same sensor. Autofocusing is pretty dope. Hey, man, let me tell you something about these two lenses. Video quality for the autofocus, not the greatest, I'll be honest with you. I mean, the autofocus is, you know, we're talking about 2013 here. They didn't really have it up to par at that point in time, but it's not bad depending on lighting conditions. I found that if it's like the middle of the day where, you know, the light is like intense, man, and it's strong, the autofocus doesn't struggle, man. When you put that face priority on you, it catches you and it holds you. You might find every so often it'll do like a little bit of hunting or whatever, but it's rare, let's put it that way, if the light is good. Now when the light starts to go down and you're relying on high ISOs and all that, okay, you just lost the autofocus. The autofocus is crap, man, let me tell you that right now. But when it comes to the photo side of things, the autofocus on these things work real nice, man. Work beautiful, and the pictures that come out of these cameras just gorgeous, man. I love them. I love them as photo cameras. They're fantastic. These older Samsungs, and for vacationing or taking with you somewhere, you know, you want to catch memories at a family function or whatever it happens to be, man, and you want to make sure that you get all that. Hey, man, you can't go wrong with these Samsungs. I'm gonna tell you that straight, man. It's just, you cannot go wrong with the Samsung for photos. Just amazing, man, just amazing. And video quality, by the way, I'm just talking about the autofocus, man. And you tell me right now, video quality is amazing out of these cameras. See, I put this NX300 that you're looking at right now, I put it on manual focus. And yo, I gotta say something about this controversy about manual focus, autofocus, and all that. Okay, let me get something out of the way first. Yes, a really good, reliable autofocus system is a beautiful thing to have. I love it, don't get me wrong. I really enjoy it. I'm using one right now. I'm staring at one right now. It's got excellent, reliable autofocus. And it works, it just works, it just works. It doesn't lose you, it's great. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. Okay, that's fantastic. Now I understand if you're like a blogger and that's like your business and everything like that, and you just don't want to have any mistakes. Okay, I get it, man, but check it out, man. It doesn't mean that there's no value to manual focusing, you know? Now I've seen some videos lately, people talking about this one person in particular who will remain nameless, but I think y'all know who he is. He be ratting all over these people who use manual focus, talking manual focus snobs, manual focus chumps and all this. Come on, man. Are you for real? Let me tell you something, man. Let me just tell you a little bit of a story that some of them gonna relate to it, you know? Recently, I caught a video by this guy named Mr. Beast. Now, I didn't know who he was, but apparently a lot of people do because he's got like 50 million subscribers. Anyways, the gist of the story is this. He put out a video recently where he buys out 5 stores and then he gives it away. Okay, that's nice, good for him. You know what I'm saying? Nice thing to do. But check this out. The reason I mention this is because he buys out a used car lot, right? Every car on the lot, gives them all away. Spends a day giving away the cars to whoever happens to turn up looking for a car. You want a car? Okay, you like this one? Here are the keys, they belong to you. By the end of the day, he was left with 1 car. He couldn't give it away. You know why? I think you can guess. Because it was a manual transmission. Nobody knew how to drive manual. I mean, are you serious, man? You can't drive manual cars, so you can't even give the car away? That's ridiculous, man. That's just foolishness. This is what's happening, man, to society, man. People getting soft, man. Nobody knows any skills anymore. Nobody knows anything about anything. They just want everything done for them, you know what I'm saying? They want toilet seats, they're gonna wipe their ass next, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Ridiculous. So what? You a chump or a snob because you know how to manual focus lens? Come on, man. Get out of here with that bullshit. That's just stupidity, man. Let me tell you something about manual focus. If you're willing to play around with it, learn the skill, it opens up a whole variety of things to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, check all these lenses I got back here, man. Every single one of these lenses and the lens that I got on here is a manual focus Nikon vintage lens. Yes, vintage. Yes, there's value to vintage lenses. They look amazing, man. This is a 50mm f1.8. Yo, check this out. This is the most famous lens of all time. This is the 105-24. I think it's a 25, excuse me. This is a 105-25. I'm talking about it's the most famous of all time. I don't even know the exact specs. 105-2.5. This lens here is responsible for some of the most iconic pictures ever taken. Now, it's a manual focus lens, man. This thing goes back, for real. I had to get this one when I heard about it, man. I picked this one up, I think, for like $110 off of eBay used. But it's an amazing lens, man. Yo, check some of these pictures I took with this NX300 manual focus lenses. These are pictures that I've taken. This one here in particular was taken with this 105 f2.5. It's amazing, man. This camera just is incredible. And if you could learn to manual focus, if you're willing to have the patience for it. And by the way, all of these Samsung cameras, they have focus peaking on them. And the focus peaking is really fantastic. And you could zoom in, you know, you set all these things into settings, and the minute you start turning the manual focus lens, in some cases, if it's a native lens like a Samsung lens, it'll just automatically zoom in 5 times, 8 times, whatever you set it to, and then you can have the focus peaking on so you know you're in focus. If it's not a native lens, then you could just set one of the buttons to the custom buttons to have it so it zooms in. For me, it's the OK button on the NX300. So I press the OK button, it zooms in, and I got my focus peaking. And guess what, man? I get the shots pretty much every time. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. So I mean, stop acting a fool about it, man. Making it look like it's so difficult. Oh man, can I keep this guy in focus on the video? Yeah, you can keep him in focus. Stop being a dick about it, man. Come on, man. Now, don't get me wrong, I love watching your stuff, I really do. He's fucking hilarious, this guy. He's really, really funny. I like watching him. He's great videos. You know, always, you know, not want to say I always learn something, but I definitely entertain, that's for sure, man. I'm a subscriber. I like keeping up with it and everything like that. But sometimes, man, even the people that you admire as far as the things that they do say some dumb shit, and that's one of them. So anyways, that's just a little beef I have. Manual focusing, there's a lot of value to it. So let's stop being so soft, everybody. Let's learn how to do things for ourselves using our hands again, you know what I'm saying? Just because the word manual is in it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, you know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous to me. But anyways, okay, enough of that diatribe. And I guess the last additions to my Samsung collection were my NX500s, man. I did that last video about it, so I don't really need to talk about it much. These cameras are really fantastic. I really, really like them. The sensors on them are fantastic. You know, they don't have that anti-aliasing filter like I was mentioning before, so in the last video rather. So it's just the image quality is so sharp, man. These take excellent pictures, and they take excellent video, and the autofocusing on these ones are much better. The phase detect on these ones are much better. And by the way, this does have phase detect. I mean, even if it's not the greatest performing one, it still does have phase detect. But like I said, man, nothing wrong with manual, which is what I got this one on right now. So what you think about the image quality come out this Samsung? That's the Samsung NX300, you know what I'm saying? Point being, love these Samsung cameras, man. I really love them. They just have so much value to them. All these things that you see in front of you, you can get for pretty much pennies on the dollar, with a couple exceptions. I think the NX500 is one that's very popular now, become more popular recently. The NX1 is one that definitely holds its value. It's very expensive, but you know, like I said, this cost me nothing. This couple $100, you know what I mean? This one was less than $100 because it was broken and I fixed it. Hey, the one that I'm filming with right now, that one there, that one cost me $100. I bought just the camera body. It was in great condition. $100, eBay. Okay, that's all I needed. I didn't need any lenses because I already have a variety of them, as you can see. So, long story short, tremendous value, man. Tremendous value in this Samsung brand. It really does break my heart that they don't make cameras anymore. It's too bad. I would wish for them to come back. I really still believe that if they were to merge with Nikon or buy Nikon or something to do with Nikon, Samsung, Nikon, Samcon, whatever they decide to do with that, if they ever decide to do anything with it, which they won't, but you know, if that were to ever happen, I think that would be a fantastic merger, for real. Thanks again for watching, everybody, man. Yo, give it a thumbs up, something you like, you know what I'm saying? You want to see more of this Samsung content, you want to talk about something individual with Samsung, you got a question about Samsung, put it down below in the comments. Think about subscribing and all that bullshit. Hey man, I'll see you next time. Peace.